Welcome back to New Rockstars, I'm Erik, Voss, and among the 27 names announced for Avengers Doomsday, while the returning X-Men actors may have stolen the spotlight, there was one thing we missed on this soundstage that might really be the key to everything. Obviously, the fire perimeter keep clear sign over Joseph Quinn's chair. An amazing Human Torch Easter egg. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. No, I'm kidding. Really, the most important detail, I think, was the inclusion of Tom Huddleston on this list. And while we're on the subject of chair placement, Huddleston's chair, which is 9th from the right in the wide shot of all the chairs lined up, has some cables snaking out from the back. Almost certainly a coincidence, but also a reminder that Loki is currently the MCU's god of stories who is holding all the snaking branches and vines of the sacred timeline together to form a multiversal tree of time, modeled upon the Yggdrasil world's tree of Asgardian mythology. While returning X-Men actors suggest an incursion between Earth 616 of the MCU and Earth 1005 of the X-Men universe, Loki returning to the MCU gives us even more insight into how this conflict begins. So in this video, I'm going to break down why Loki is the key to Avengers Doomsday. And a reminder that the best way to support New Rockstars is to head on over to nerdriot.shop and to grab one of our amazing nerdy gift options for that special nerd in your life. Okay, at the end of Loki season 2, Loki had spent thousands of years looping through time to try to prevent the temporal loom from failing, and eventually realized that he had to loop back to his and Sylvie's conversation with the Kang variant He Who Remains in the Citadel at the end of time from the Loki season 1 finale. After going back and forth, Loki realized he could break the cycle by changing the equation and replacing He Who Remains on that throne.
The outcome to this equation remains the same. You lose.
I'll change the equation. I'll break your loom.
And for the first time, we see He Who Remains taking the defensive.
But the loom prevents a brutal war where nothing survives, not even the sacred timeline. Okay, let's try it this way. Every moment of peace you've ever experienced was yours
Because I was here, alone, at the end of time.
I understand.
He Who Remains repeated these words, describing the risk of Loki taking over as a war.
Let's see it. Make the hard choice. Break the loom and you cause a war that kills us all. Game over.
So we watched as Loki completes this process, stepping out toward the temporal loom, exposing himself to the radiation and grasping the strands of time as he marched toward the center, forming a new garment and a new throne for himself as he used his body to hold the branches of time together and rotate it into a vibrant tree similar to Yggdrasil, something sacred in his own cultural understanding of the cosmic balance of the universe. And now, rather than the TVA under marching orders to clip and to prune branches, the TVA now operates under a mission to nurture all variant branches into a thriving garden of multiversal possibilities. The multiverse now is not a bad thing, rather than just something that could exist in balance under a god of stories Loki's watchful eye. We also know that a timeline tree is an important visual to Marvel Studios because they returned to this visual from the Watcher's perspective at the end of What If Season 2. Now, at the time Loki Season 2 was written and it was shot, Marvel Studios' plan was still to make Kang and the Kang Dynasty the big bads of the multiverse saga. That plan has obviously since changed. However, ever since Loki Season 2's finale came out in November 2023, we now know that Marvel Studios at that point had already secretly changed plans from Kang as the big bad to Dr. Doom as the big bad. On the week of that Loki finale, Variety reported on Marvel Studios' secret Palm Springs retreat that had been in September 2023, where the switch from Kang to Doom was discussed. And months later, it was confirmed that that was true. After the San Diego Comic-Con announcement of Robert Downey Jr.'s return as Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday, Robert Downey Jr. went on the Hollywood Reporter's Awards Chatter podcast and said that Kevin Feige approached him to return to the MCU as Victor Von Doom sometime in August to September 2023. So that decision was made before these final episodes of Loki Season 2 aired on Disney+. I also remember some reporting that Loki Season 2 head writer Eric Martin had to rapidly rewrite the Loki Season 2 penultimate episode. So, there was just a lot of plot details for this show's second season that were very much in flux as it was coming together. And we should note that that penultimate episode did not have Jonathan Majors in it. I want to remind you for a second of one of the great underappreciated characters of the MCU, Ralph Bohner.
Boner.
Remember how happy we were when Ralph Bohner showed up in WandaVision, and how happy we all were to see that Bohner again in Agatha All Along?
It's witch repelling.
If one Bohner can get that much joy to an entire fan base, imagine what a steady supply of Bohners will do for your personal life. Oh, also, did I mention that today's video is sponsored by Blue Chew? Because it is. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly direct to your door in a discreet package. It's super easy too. You just sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take Blue Chew anytime, day or night. That way you can plan ahead or be ready for whenever an opportunity arises. If you're skeptical or don't think you need it, try it free for a month and see. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use promo code Rockstars. Just pay the $5 in shipping. That's promo code Rockstars. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring today's video. Still, the Loki Season 2 finale established that it was going to be the Kang variants that the TVA was now worried about.
I got those reports on the variants of He Who Remains.
Do any of them know that we exist yet?
Oh, I guess one of them caused a little bit of a ruckus on 616 adjacent realm, but they handled it, so we're all good for now.
In past videos, I broke down what those case files and images show in the folder, but it's essentially a recap of the events of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. While Loki Season 1 and Season 2 were written at first as stories introducing Kang to the MCU, the TVA as we see it in Deadpool and Wolverine is firmly the TVA in the Doctor Doom era. That's why Deadpool and Wolverine included as an Easter egg the Secret Wars #5 comic book in the Void, which is the issue of Secret Wars that flashes back to Doctor Doom's power up into God Emperor Doom by using Molecule Man as a conduit to absorb the power of the Beyonders. And the character of Mr. Paradox, played by Matthew McFadden, seemed to not be interested in the new TVA marching orders under its new leader, B-15, and he approached his work with greater impatience. Rather than letting universes whose anchored beings had died decay and expire at their own natural rate, he insisted on using the Time Ripper to expedite that universal death. And now seems clear that Deadpool and Wolverine established anchor beings as a substitute concept for what Molecule Man is in the Time Runs Out in Secret Wars comics, so that now, instead of it being the same person in every universe whose death triggers the death of that universe, Owen Reese, in the film universe, it's a different person in every universe, which makes it a more fun guessing game for who the anchor being of Earth 616 is. And Paradox and his Time Ripper will almost certainly be assets to Doctor Doom. We have to assume at this point that Doctor Doom will use the TVA architecture, specifically the Void part of it, as the ground upon which he will build a battle world, because that is functionally what the Void is. It's where scraps of broken universes go. But now that incursions are happening, more pieces of universes are going to fall into that setting, and Doom will be able to build them into a new continent. We are about to see this place filled with the aftermath debris of the war that is about to happen, the war that He Remains referred to. While that war was originally going to be fought among the Kangs, now it's going to be a war between the Marvel heroes of opposing universes, the Avengers versus the X-Men, and the homes that they came from, which raises the question, which chunks of settings from the MCU will make it a battle world? Are we going to see part of the 616 Manhattan and the 616 Wakanda, the 616 Celestial Island, the 616 Avengers compound, the 616 New Asgard, the 616 Nowhere, the 616 Kamartaj, the 616 Madripoor, the 616 Asgard before it was destroyed by Surtur? But in order to turn the Void into this crazy cosmic battleground, Doctor Doom is first going to have to attack the heart that kept that clockwork ticking, and that is God of Stories Loki. Remember, God of Stories Loki is thousands upon thousands of years of wisdom packed into one Asgardian's body. That will make him the perfect rival to Doctor Doom, someone who may have been going through a similar process all this time. I think we are going to open Avengers Doomsday with Doctor Doom burning down this tree. And I'm using the term burn because that is a term Kang the Conqueror used in Quantumania.
And I will burn them out of time.
And knowing that this will be Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Hiddleston, this will be the first time these two actors really had a chance to talk to each other since their big face-off in Tony's penthouse in Avengers 2012. And I've theorized that their dialogue in this reunion in Doomsday, as Doom steps up to God of Stories Loki on that throne, their new exchange could recreate those words.
There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top. Because if we can't protect the Earth, you can be damn well sure we'll avenge it.
Remember, Deadpool and Wolverine also made another promise to answer the question, why is Thor crying? And that footage Paradox accidentally shows Deadpool, footage that Paradox says is from a distant future. I think it's because Thor will learn about his brother's sacrifice and what he did to try to stop Doctor Doom. And he's going to remember the last words his brother said to him before a previous sacrifice that began in Avengers Infinity War.
I assure you, brother, the sun will shine on us again.
So that is why I think Loki is going to be the key to how Avengers Doomsday opens. Comment down below with your thoughts on this. Follow me at EA Voss and subscribe to all the channels in the new Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.